Welcome to The Explainer. Ever feel like the little things you do, they don't really matter in the grand scheme of things, like you're just a drop in the ocean? Well, today we're going to dive into two of ancient India's most incredible texts, the Puranas and the Bhagavad Gita, to see how they connect the biggest picture imaginable, the entire universe, directly to the choices you and I make every single day.
So let's just get right to it with the big question. How can a story about the universe written thousands of years ago actually help you with a decision you have to make, today? It sounds like a stretch, right? But as we're about to see, the answer connects the entire cosmos right down to the very core of what you choose to do.
Okay, so before we can figure out our part in the play, we got to understand the stage itself. And for that, we're turning to the Brahma Purana. Think of it as the blueprint for the entire cosmic show.
The story of creation here doesn't start with some massive explosion. It starts with a thought. From the ultimate source, Lord Narayana, Brahma comes into being, and through pure meditation, through divine will, he just brings everything forth. The gods, demons, heaven, earth, every single living thing we can imagine.
And what this tells us is absolutely crucial. The universe, in this view, isn't just some random, chaotic accident. Nope, it's a place with a purpose, with a built-in structure and order. And you have to remember that idea, this cosmic order, because it's the foundation for everything else we're going to talk about.
All right, so the universe is created. It has this inherent order, but that order isn't guaranteed. It can be thrown off balance. So the big question becomes, how are we supposed to live in a way that maintains that balance? Well, the story of the very first king, Prithu, gives us an amazing example of what that looks like.
So picture this. In King Prithu's time, the world has become a wasteland. The earth is barren, his people are starving. But Prithu, he doesn't just sit around in despair. He acts. He literally confronts the earth, who's taken the form of a cow, and demands that she provide for everyone again. He actively shapes the world to build a civilization where people can thrive.
And see, this story isn't just a cool myth. It's a blueprint for what it means to be a righteous leader. A real leader protects their people, makes sure everyone can prosper, and acts according to what's right, their Dharma. They're all about sustaining that cosmic order we talked about. Prithu shows us what right action looks like on a huge, world-changing scale.
Okay, so we've seen the big picture. Now let's zoom the camera all the way in. Let's see how this idea of right action applies not to a king changing the world, but to one single person facing an impossible choice. We're going from the cosmic to the deeply personal.
And you can see that shift perfectly here. On the one hand, you have Brahma creating the entire cosmos in the Puranas, and on the other, you have the beginning of the Bhagavad Gita. We've literally moved from the creation of worlds to a crisis happening inside a single soul.
So this is where we meet our hero, Arjuna. He's a great warrior standing on the battlefield, ready for the fight of his life. But then he looks across the field and he sees his family, his cousins, his beloved teachers, his friends, and he just breaks down. He's totally paralyzed by sorrow and confusion. He starts questioning everything, especially his duty to fight. The man is completely lost.
And in this moment of total crisis, this profound crisis of action, his charioteer, who is actually Lord Krishna in disguise, steps in. And what follows is one of the most powerful, most famous philosophical conversations in all of human history. Krishna is about to lay out the nature of duty, of action, and of reality itself.
So the first thing Krishna does is tackle Arjuna's grief head-on. He says, look, what you really are is the Atma, the soul. And the soul, it's eternal. It was never born, and it can never die. Bodies come and go, but the soul is indestructible. So he tells Arjuna, don't grieve for what's just a temporary physical shell.
Then Krishna gets to the heart of the matter, Arjuna's Dharma, his duty. He says, you are a warrior. Your job, your righteous path is to fight against injustice. And he makes it crystal clear that walking away from that duty, it's not just a personal failure. It's an act that disrupts that very cosmic order we were talking about earlier.
But here's the really brilliant part. Krishna doesn't just tell him what to do, he tells him how to do it. And this is where we get the core teaching of the Gita, Karma Yoga, or the yoga of action.
And the core idea is this. You have a right to your work, but you have no right to the results of your work. That's a huge one. Basically, act with everything you've got, all your skill, all your focus, but let go of what happens next. Let go of whether you win or lose, succeed or fail. The real skill, Krishna says, is having that calm, balanced mind no matter the outcome.
So Krishna basically lays out a three-step process that anyone, and I mean anyone, can apply to their life. Step 1, know your duty. Figure out your role, your Dharma. It doesn't matter if you're a leader, a parent, an artist, whatever. Step 2, do it. And do it with everything you've got, with total excellence. And step 3, relinquish the outcome. Just let it go. That is the path to finding freedom through your actions.
And then Krishna explains why this is so important, beyond just finding your own inner peace. He says that whatever a great person does, others will follow. Remember King Prithu? It's the same idea. Our actions set the standard for everybody else. If someone in a position of responsibility wavers, the whole world can get thrown off balance. So doing the right thing is vital for the stability of, well, everything.
Okay, let's bring this all home in our final section. We've got the giant cosmic blueprint from the Puranas on one side, and we've got the personal script for how to act from the Gita on the other. So, how do these two pieces fit together?
Well, think of it like this. The Puranas give us the what. They describe the stage we're on, this big ordered universe. Then the Gita comes along and gives us the how. It's our personal script for how to act on that stage. So one gives us the big picture context, and the other gives us the user manual.
And this right here is the big, profound takeaway. That grand cosmic order we've been talking about, it isn't some abstract thing that's just out there. It's something that is actively held together by the sum total of our individual choices. Your choices, my choices. Every single time you do your duty, and you do it with excellence and without getting hung up on the results, you are literally contributing to the harmony of the entire universe.
And that brings us right back to where we started, our lives, right here, right now. This ancient wisdom, it's not just some dusty old philosophy. It's a real, practical challenge. It's asking us to realize that everything we do, big or small, creates ripples. So I'll leave you with that final personal question. What standard are you setting today?